What we're talking about this morning essentially is how we be us digitally. It's something that happens a lot where people kind of say, okay, I'm me, and when I connect with people or go to meetings or interviews or networking events, I can do that so well. I can connect with people so well when I'm in front of them. Well, some of us do. But then when I go online, I don't know what I'm doing, and I freak out. I don't know what to do online. I don't have enough time to go on there. And when I'm on there, I don't know who my audience is. I don't know who I'm talking to like I am face to face. And that's sort of I guess the problems that I wanted to answer this morning was, how do we be who we are offline, online? And that doesn't matter if you are an individual that's online, communicating online, connecting online. If you're an individual communicating as an individual, so a professional communicating online as yourself, or if you're an individual that's communicating on behalf of a business, or if you're simply an individual that is communicating purely as a business. So maybe it's your business, whatever that may be. So, and you may be all three of those things. I'm all three of those things online. You may just be digitally connected as far as your emails, text messages, and you might go further on if you're tweeting, if you're snapping, you know, whatever stories that you're sharing online. Or maybe you're just looking after the marketing or the content or copy of a website. They're all a parts of digital communication. So wherever you fit into that very big range, this is what we're discussing. Because it all comes down to whatever works offline works online. And I think somewhere in this great technical, you know, evolution that has happened, we've seemed to forget that there's human beings on both ends of whatever device that is that you're communicating through. So up here you can sort of see that, you know, that this is a human problem. This is what we've got. I'm not here to talk about, you know, digital technological features or what you can do with this and that and so forth. It's talking about the real benefits of technology, how we be us online, because what works offline works online. That's what we're going to discuss. So last year I had a meeting with a pretty cool guy. It was myself and the Dalai Lama sat down for about half an hour, 40 minutes to talk about this exact thing, to say that how do we build communities? How do we make sure that people are connecting and communicating the way that they need to? In a world that we're more and more times we're in silos and we're home alone with just our devices. How are we doing what makes us amazing as human beings more and more? So empathy, compassion, communities, building societies, moving away from, you know, very transactional messages that are just pushed out there, because that's not how we build communities. That's not how we communicate. So this was a conversation that we had, and he very profoundly, which I was like, you should do this for a living, he said, this is a human problem, not a technological issue, so it needs a human answer. And I thought, well, that's a tweetable. So it was such a great conversation where I just thought afterwards, it's so simple. We just need to think about the human, especially I know that there's lots of marketers in here, and a lot of what we're kind of talking about, I mean, essentially it is marketing, regardless if you have, you know, marketing in your title or communications in your title, whatever that may be. Everything that we do, even if we're communicating as an individual, we're marketing. It's just micro-marketing. We're marketing ourselves, whatever our brand is, whether it's a brand as far as an organisation or a firm, or whether it's our own personal brand. What we communicate out or what we're marketing about ourselves is simply controlling what we can control. And that was what our conversation was. Let's bring it all back really, really simple and go, what does the human being need? Why are they coming to us digitally? When we communicate out, what is it that they need? So it all seems really, really simple, but they're actually really hard questions to answer. Just on a side note, I want to show you these photos because I'm still devastated about it. These were literally the best selection of photos that came out, and I'm quite, well, I mean, I work in social media, so, you know, I'm kind of thinking, if I can't put on Instagram, it never happened. And these are the best, and he didn't let go of my hand the entire time. I only found out like 10 p.m. the night before, and I had to drive 5 hours to get there. So this is a Target dress because that's all that was open at 10 p.m. at night. And because I wasn't in Sydney at the time, so that was fun. And when the Dalai Lama was holding my hand the whole time that we were talking. Meanwhile, I'm scrolling through my photos like this going, very interesting. Oh my goodness. And I was thinking, I've got nothing to put on Instagram. This can't be happening. I thought, is this my Buddhist teaching that I'm getting right now about releasing the ego? Do I need to let this go? But it was okay, because in the end, I got this photo. So I was like, yay, ego intact. I'm okay. So, and then I tweeted that out and so forth. But what happened was, when you first meet the Dalai Lama, he asks everyone the same question. And I Googled this last night, because while I was walking through Target, I'm Googling like what you can wear in front of the Dalai Lama. Can you wear short sleeve? All these sorts. I didn't know. Apparently you can wear anything. So I could have just worn my pajamas, which is all I had at the time. So I was Googling and came across this one question that he always asks. So the 5-hour drive that I had there, I was practicing this question over and over, what I was going to answer. And the question is, who are you when he first meets you? Who are you? I thought, oh, I've got this. Walk in, I was like, oh goodness, it's the Dalai Lama. Got a bit nervous. He walked straight up, said, how are you? Who are you? And I said, it's okay, because security let me in. I'm meant to be here. I was like, Danielle, we practiced this. That's not what we practice. And he was holding my hand and he said, I know, you're Danielle, we've got a meeting now. Who are you? And I was like, oh, that was a really bad answer. I don't even know what I answered yet, but I really hope that it was better than security let me in. But the thing that I've thought about ever since is how simple yet complex that question is. Very simple, 3 words, very, very complex answer. However, if you can answer that question of what's the human answer to whatever your communications or technological or digital or whatever your relationships are, if you can answer the human problem, why are the humans coming to you? What's that connection? What's the answer? And then be able to answer, who am I? Who are you? As an individual or as a firm, it doesn't matter, or both, that you're communicating. So I am whatever the next bit of that question is, and we are whatever the next bit of that sentence is. This is the biggest thing, regardless of what organisation or individuals I work with. It is such a hard question to answer.